Hello, Internet, and welcome to Creature Clash, the only podcast where we talk about everything from D&D to SCP and everything in between. My name's Alex.
I'm Don.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Trey.
And today we're going to be playing a game of Would You Rather with magical creatures. So we're going to let Adam kick us off today. Adam, do you have any Would You Rathers for the group?
Yes, here's the first Would You Rather. Would you rather be turned to stone by a basilisk or Medusa?
Definitely Medusa.
Yeah, Medusa, because she doesn't eat them. I don't know if does the basilisk eat you afterwards?
Yes, the basilisk would eat your stone statue, so...
Yes, Medusa, for that.
What would Medusa do?
She would display you in her garden as a beautiful art piece, whereas the basilisk would just chew you up and spit you out.
But in D&D, it doesn't last forever, does it?
I mean, it lasts until you have greater restoration casted on you.
Oh, that's right.
See, with Medusa, there's a chance to be
To
saved.
live.
Yeah. Whereas with the
Agreed.
basilisk, you would insta-die, probably.
Yeah.
Here's my question. If you're made of stone, are you, conscious of everything around you? Or is it, a deep hibernation?
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
I assume it would probably be, a deep hibernation, because if you could be restored, then you, must still be alive in some sense.
That's how I would hope it would be.
Kinda
Your
like
pores
carbonite.
kind of taking air.
Are you conscious in carbonite?
No. Well, no, you're not, because when Han Solo was rescued, wasn't he all dazed and confused? He wasn't,
And he couldn't even
so.
see.
he couldn't even see. So,
Oh.
I don't know. We haven't gotten that far in The Mandalorian yet, so we gotta wait.
What?
He puts people in carbonite, or he
Yeah.
freezes them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
anyway.
You know what's kind of funny? I know this is way off topic, but in The Mandalorian, he's got a mini carbonite area, whereas in the movies, it was this big, menacing looking pit.
Had its own room and everything.
Yeah, so it's wow, kind of a downgrade, but
Or an upgrade. Maybe it's
The portable version.
better.
it's like a 3D printer version. You have to load the carbonite in. But back to the Would You Rather. I would definitely say Medusa, because I just feel like you have a better chance of living, honestly.
Yeah, I would agree. Being turned to stone by Medusa, you would definitely have a better chance of living. I feel like the only way she would, you would not live from her is if you somehow fell over, or she knew of your existence beforehand and knew you were a dangerous person and decided to kill you. But besides those hypothetical what-if situations for that,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely Medusa.
Anybody else got any Would You Rathers?
I'm not
Do
gonna
you?
lie, I tried real hard. Couldn't think of anything.
That's okay, Trey. We still got a lot of time on the podcast left. Don, you were about to say something?
I was asking if you had one.
Okay. I can think of one. Would you rather steal gold from a dragon or take gold from a mimic chest?
Mimic chest.
Why?
Because,
It's a lot easier to kill.
yeah.
I would rather steal from the dragon, if I'm being completely honest.
Because it has more.
Yeah, because it has way more, and all you gotta do is be really stealthy.
True.
Dragon's not gonna know you were there.
What if someone tips off the dragon?
Well, I can disprove that. If it's a red dragon, it knows the exact piece of every single coin and gem and other treasure in its lair, and it knows where it goes. So if it's a red dragon, I would not want to steal from that unless I'm slaying it.
Uh-huh.
That's BS. How can it know where the gold is? I can believe that it would know where every little piece is, but how does it know where in the world it is? That's ridiculous.
They're magic.
Okay, so magic just is the answer for everything now, isn't it?
Hey,
Really?
you said it.
I think it has been.
It has been for a lot of this. Maybe the dragon, maybe the red dragon excretes some kind of mucus-like substance on the gold coins
We didn't
and
have to
is
make it
able.
weird.
Well, because okay,
I'm kidding.
because this is Creature Clash, Trey, and I want to put some realism to this. So,
Yeah.
in my opinion, in my realistic opinion, the Red Dragon probably expels some sort of mucusy substance on its
Can we go with
coins.
pheromone?
Sure, Don, if you want to be clean about it. Some pheromones on its gold pieces. And then when somebody takes it, it just tracks the pheromone scent. That makes more sense to me. Sorry, I got a little emotional there.
Emotional.
Got a little emotional.
Okay. I have one.
Yeah, go for it. Wait, hold on, wait. We didn't get everyone's reasons for wanting to. Well, I guess your reasons are taken from the mimic chest that it's safer, but
Yeah.
my argument would be it's safer, but it's almost always going to guarantee combat, isn't it? Like if you go near a mimic chest and you open it, it's going to always guarantee combat. Whereas if you're confronted with a dragon, you can just sneak in and steal it.
Didn't we discuss that mimic chests don't actually have gold in them because they're a living being?
Yeah, actually, you're right, because it's illusionary, isn't it? It's all illusionary.
So I would think that when you said we were stealing from a mimic chest, I thought you meant like there was like a treasure room and it belonged to the mimic. I don't know.
Well, it could be like a treasure room with a bunch of mimic chests in it.
Are mimic doors actual doors too?
I
don't know this answer.
Are we gonna? What makes a door a door? If I stand in front of a door, if I stand in front of an opening, and you have to push past me to get through me, does that make me a door?
Well, when you're standing in front of like a TV and like the dad says, you make a better door than a window.
Yeah.
I mean, it also comes down to the definition. What's a door and what's a barricade?
Oh, shoot. We're getting all sophisticated in here. Oh.
Well, I'm pretty sure that a barricade is a defense for a door. Because you barricade a door, which means you reinforce a door. And if you use barricades to keep things away from doors. So a barricade and a door are very different things. But what makes a door is the question. Despite the original question being, would you rather steal from a mimic or a dragon?
I thought we were trying to determine if a mimic would have gold in it.
We've gone a long way.
So I'll take a moment to appreciate the tangent this took. No, Don's right. We did say that any gold in a mimic would be illusionary. And we did say that a mimic chest would have illusionary gold in it, because if it had real gold in it, it would probably suffocate and die.
What if it had mimic gold in it?
That's illusionary. Oh, like
baby
mimic gold?
mimics?
Yeah.
Is the mimic pregnant in this scenario? And the baby fetus mimics took the shape of gold?
Sure.
Gosh.
I thought we discussed how they reproduce and they just like split.
Oh, yeah.
Plus,
All
didn't we
bunch
say
of
that
tiny splits.
Didn't we say that a mimic could not be inside another mimic? Didn't we also determine that as well?
I think so. I don't know.
Because it was all in an illusionary space, so if there was a mimic inside a mimic, it would be digested.
Yeah.
To be frank though, I wasn't there for this conversation, sadly.
Oh, that is true. That is true. But yeah, so I guess my what if is kind of solves itself. But I still think it was an interesting question because
Yeah.
But you all said mimic, so you all get nothing. No gold.
Oh, no.
You stole nothing from him. I got away with everything.
That's why I was clarifying if it's gold that's inside a mimic or gold that the mimic owns.
I would say that it's a mimic inside a treasure room. And
Yeah. I'd say
the mimic is like
gold guarded by a mimic.
yes.
Yeah, that's okay. In that case, still the mimic.
Yeah, definitely the mimic.
I still feel like the mimic would always trigger though, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but here's the thing. In D&D, I've fought mimics and I've fought dragons. The mimics haven't wiped a party, dragons have.
True. I would still go with the dragon because I want all that gold. I'm in it to win it. So
Okay.
You obviously were not there for a very unfortunate event.
Your characters have been, like, somewhat
by
suicidal, so...
what, my character?
Yeah.
Well, my new character won't be.
Okay.
Good gravy.
All right, Don, you sounded like you had a what if to pose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this, I guess it could be more vague. I was going with like a what if, or not a what if, it's a would you rather.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
like what pet you would rather have. So I just picked a couple random things like a pseudo dragon or a hellhound, for example.
Okay.
But this can be more general, like if there's another pet, D&D pet that you'd rather have.
Well,
So like, if let's start with just picking between the two, and then maybe we could be like,
Yeah.
all right now. So what were a hellhound and a what?
Pseudo dragon.
So the
I
pseudo
would-
dragon, that's like a real little dragon-like thingy, right?
Yeah,
it's got a stinger instead of a breath weapon.
Okay.
they're intelligent.
You have
I
one
would
of those, didn't you?
I would definitely take the pseudo dragon because telepathic images it can send you would be pretty cool, and the magic resistance buff that applies to it and yourself is pretty dang cool.
I want a pet wyvern.
Wyvern. Nice.
Mainly because I feel like we're constantly teased with the idea of owning a wyvern every time we play a game, whether it be in my game or Adam's game. And I just want to have one session, just one magical session where I actually own a wyvern as like a companion. I think that would be pretty cool because they're pretty powerful, and I think that they would be very useful in combat. So
A wyvern.
if I remember
would be
correctly, when Dawn had a pseudo dragon in one of our games, it was really good at communication, but I don't remember it being a particularly strong fighter. At least not early
No.
on.
Yeah, Adam like kind of tweaked the rules. It was a beast bond is what it was, but he ended up giving it like its own like level system, so it ended up being really powerful. But outside of like
Did it
special
start-
roles, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like the wyvern would be cool to possess, to own. Adam, what about you? You said pseudo dragon. Trey, what would you rather have? Like, what kind of D&D pet would you want to have?
I'm not as familiar with these hellhound. What does that like? Is it a big like?
Ooh, I got this one because I believe Dawn had a hellhound as a companion in my game.
Did I?
Someone did. No, Zach did. Jalapeno. He had Jalapeno the hellhound. So a hellhound is a naturally evil beast, and it has to kill. It has to kill something. Like, I think for me, I set it to every 7 days. So it has to do something evil, like kill something. And but other than that, it's basically just a normal dog, but with some like fire abilities and fire resistance. So they're pretty cool if you're okay with them. They also, I think, they only speak Infernal, so they only understand that direction.
Okay. Well, I guess I might say hellhound then. That sounds interesting.
I think it would be very difficult to train a hellhound. I think you would be fighting it a lot if you were letting it do what it wanted to do a lot of the time. But
how are they like born per se? Like,
well, when a mommy hellhound and a daddy hellhound
God.
hate each other very much.
They hate each other.
I don't know how hellhounds are created, unfortunately.
No. Well, I'd say if I were able to be there like upon creation, that way it like forms maybe a stronger bond. That would be my choice. Just because like.
Oh, kind of like how some creatures you have to raise them
From
order
birth.
for them to be loyal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like griffins.
Darn griffins.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what about a manticore? Could you?
Well, that's not a pet. They're way too smart.
They
Okay,
are.
I was gonna say manticore would be a cool pet, but I wasn't sure if they were intelligent enough to.
They can be like mercenaries. If you pay them enough gold, they'll do what you want. But
Yeah, you've watched Onward.
I did, but there's a lot of
Discrepancy.
fictional games where a manticore is just a beast and not necessarily an intelligent creature. So I wasn't sure if in D&D it would count as a beast or an intelligent creature. I would have a slime as my companion. No. Trey, have you come up with any would you haves?
I haven't. Let's get back to me. I'm thinking right now.
All right. Here's one. Would you rather play a game where you are lawful good or lawful evil?
That's similar to the way I was going. Like I was trying to come up like I would do lawful evil.
I feel
Just
like
'cause
lawful evil would give you a lot more options, but sorry, I
it
interrupted.
would. No. That's yeah. I was gonna say the same thing about like you could probably do a lot more with that.
I've done both, and I
Okay.
liked lawful good more. Just because evil roles are kind of hard to play in a good party.
Well,
Believe me, don't I
yeah.
know it?
It might,
Yeah.
like, my answer might be different if, like, everyone got together ahead of time. We're like, all right, it's going to be evil campaign, basically, like Alex's game, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and that's what my question was going to be. Would you rather be an evil campaign or a good campaign? And
Ooh.
that has been answered, I guess now.
What about you,
Well-
Adam?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
I would rather be in the lawfully good, either player or campaign or whatever. Mainly
Okay.
because as a player, I have such a hard time killing innocent people. It's just not my blood.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm in the same way for like video games and stuff too. Like I just can't kill innocents. I don't know why.
But I feel like video games, they always skew you towards being good. Because a lot of times in games, if you take the evil route, whatever storyline you're on just ends as soon as you come to that evil decision where it's like, do you want to destroy this place? And you're like, yes. Well, now you've lost out on 1,000 different quest lines or whatever. Whereas they always kind of like, well, if you're good, then you'll get to play more of the game. So I feel like video games kind of condition you, which is funny because the media is always like, oh, are people bad in games? And it's like, no, they sort of condition you towards the good or true route.
I don't know. I've played GTA.
Yeah, that's different. That's a game where you're supposed to be a criminal.
there's a lot. You know, when I played GTA, I would follow like I did not play it right. I would follow the traffic laws.
Oh,
stop.
my.
That's what a lot of people do in GTA. If they're bored, they'll like
No,
yeah.
It's definitely not because I was bored. that's
Oh.
like,
Yeah.
No, when I
stopped
got
at the red
bored, I
light.
played like that. Yeah.
But I feel like Trey posed, would you rather play a good campaign or evil campaign? Now I set up an evil campaign and I was talking with our friend Drew about it, and he pointed out that the mistake that I made was that I had evil characters going up against other evil characters. And if you're going to have an evil campaign, you probably want to have evil characters go up against good characters. In my mind, I think what I really wanted more was a sort of true neutral campaign
Or
where the party, where the party made decisions based on their own personal desires and not whether or not it was good or evil, and let the world play out like that. So I feel like that was my mistake when I made my campaign. But I would definitely rather play an evil campaign just because I haven't played enough evil campaigns. Adam's always done good campaigns, which is fine. I would like to try an evil one at some point. I think that's why I always go with evil characters, just to throw everything off. But not for this new game.
Having played. Well, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say having played both, it was a lot of fun being evil, but like it wasn't set up the way you wanted to, as far as neutral. But it's a lot more fun and like achieving wise to be a good campaign.
That's true. You definitely feel like you're having a better impact on the world around you.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of builds off that, I guess. But what I was going to say is I think that overall a good campaign is like what I prefer. But I think that an evil campaign, like what you described, where like we're actually going up against good as evil, I think that would be an awesome one-shot or like a mini campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did say at one point that I would love to make a campaign where it, like, within maybe like the first hour or day of the game, it's possible to complete the main story as quickly as possible. Like, you set it up so that if your characters get the certain roles that they need, they could beat the game as fast as possible. I just think that'd be an interesting thing to experiment with, like a speed run. Any more would you rathers?
Okay, I have one more.
Okay.
Would you rather play a campaign that was primarily based in the ocean or in the sky?
Ooh,
Well, I've
ocean
played
for me.
one primarily in the ocean, and I did not like that too much. So I would definitely like to try, like, in the sky. I feel like that could
Yeah.
pull a
Or
real cool dynamic.
to make it kind of different, maybe like the plane of air would be like the sky, or the plane of water would be like the ocean.
I think I'd rather do ocean, and the reason being is because I kind of hate anything to do with being in the sky for too long. Like, all of my least favorite story arcs in anime is typically a result of them being in some kind of like air temple or air sky temple or something along those lines. Unless it was something like the BioShock Infinite, where it's sort of like you're hopping between different airships, and the airships make up like a larger city. I think that would be interesting.
More of like a world in the sky than just being in the sky.
Yeah, and more of like a world in the sky instead of it being perhaps like a sky ocean, almost like hopping between different sky islands. If it was more of like something more than that, like more interesting than that.
Like a void below the world, more like.
Yeah, that could be interesting. But I feel like sailing would be. I mean, I know you guys have had bad experiences with ocean D&D games, but I feel like
let's move past that.
I feel like island hopping could be fun and interesting if it's done right.
Yeah. Weren't you thinking about playing an Aarakocra this coming game?
I was, but then Adam pointed out that I couldn't fly if I was wearing plate mail, and I want to be able to wear plate mail because I want to be a paladin. My idea was that I would be an Aarakocra that called himself Angel and was like super righteous. Still going to be super righteous. Still going to be super good and super holy. But just going to pick a different race. Maybe I'll be a Leonin again, since I didn't really get to play that character a whole lot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just got done picking my character, and I was almost a Leonin.
What'd you decide on?
Triton.
That's good. That's cool.
I'm actually gonna play a character I'd already played before too, so.
Nice. Adam, this is gonna be a good campaign, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, just making sure.
You finally make a good character and then it's an evil campaign.
That would be funny too.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be so bad.
I already have the premise for for the history of my game thought out. I just need to make the map and make up quests and things along that nature. But other than that, I mean, Adam already has all that done, I'm sure, so.
Adam, did you have a preference between ocean and sky, or plane of air or water?
I would say, not because of a bad experience, I would say sky, because I think floating cities and like floating islands and stuff like that are just like super cool. So I think it'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess just that's where I would lean.
I guess my question would be, if you have a campaign that takes place mostly in the sky, and you have sky islands and things of that nature, then isn't it basically just the same thing as being on an ocean and sailing, except it's in the sky?
I guess by ocean I kind of mean more like underwater too, like if you played a race, like it would include that as well.
Like sunken cities and things of that nature?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Fish people.
Yeah, I feel like if it were themed good, an ocean or a water-based game would be good.
Ooh, I have a good would you rather.
All right, lay us on it. Okay, words are hard. Let's go.
All right. Would you rather be a half dragonborn, half Aarakocra, where you have the wings of the Aarakocra and the breath ability of the dragonborn, or would you rather be half Aarakocra, half Triton, where your wings don't necessarily grant you a lot of height, but you can breathe underwater and your wings give you an extra boost of movement. And let me make it more reasonable. And let's say that this is an ocean campaign specifically.
Well, I feel like you're leaning one way then, because a breath weapon under the water would.
No one says you have to go under the water. I'm just saying that in this campaign you'll be mostly on a ship traveling between islands.
I'll take the breath weapon and flying.
I agree. Here's my reasoning though. So I've played in Aarakocra, so I've looked at their lore a lot. They're really claustrophobic, and I imagine the ocean as being very claustrophobic. So the ability to swim, unless they lose that like feeling, I guess. Maybe they don't have it if they can swim. But they don't like being on the ground, they like being in the air. So if they're losing some of their ability to fly, to be underwater, I feel like they would be miserable.
Okay, good point. Trey, what about you?
I like the flying and the breath weapon. I think that would be more fun. Although you wouldn't be able to use it as much if you were underwater, but like if you're just on the water, pretty lit.
I like the idea too of being half dragonborn, half Aarakocra.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be a lot of fun. Although you'd probably have to nerf the flying ability a bit as well for that. But I'm also thinking of like the advantage of being able to swim faster underwater. Yeah. If you were doing like a sailing campaign, that would be pretty worth it, I think.
Yeah, I'll agree for that campaign. As far as utility goes, it'd probably be better to play the swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like most campaigns though probably don't take place on the water unless you have like a very specific DM or campaign. But
yeah.
Any more would you rathers?
I've got one more.
Okay.
Go for it.
Would you rather be charmed by a vampire or a beholder?
Vampire, I'd have to say.
Agreed.
I really like beholders. Is the beholder gonna kill me?
It's whatever the beholder wants to do with you, really.
All right. As long as the beholder doesn't want to kill me. Beholder.
As long as the beholder doesn't behold me, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I feel like being charmed with a vampire, I mean, you would definitely probably be killed off at some point, but at least you'd have kind of an adventure, and you wouldn't really care about dying because you'd be charmed. I guess that's true in either sense, but, you know, at least a vampire is going to take you on an adventure a little bit. Plus, somebody could come and help you, too, if you're traveling with a charmed vampire or whatever.
If you're, yeah, very interesting. The vampire, too, if I have a better chance of living.
What about you, Adam?
Yeah, I'd probably go vampire.
Would you rather bug a bugbear or... No, I can't think of it. Or hobgoblin.
What is hob?
I don't know.
What is the act of hobbing?
It sounds so much wronger when I said it out loud.
I think we might be at the end here.
Would you rather gob a goblin or hob a hobgoblin? Find out next time on Creature Clash.
No, don't find that out.
Okay, here's one. Would you rather wear a helmet that will let you speak and understand any language, but makes you completely blind during the day? Or would you rather have a shield that adds +5 defense to enemies that you've faced before, but -5 defense to enemies that you haven't faced before?
Shield.
Yeah, shield.
I missed this conversation.
Okay, Trey, would you rather have a helmet that grants you the ability to speak and understand all languages, but makes you blind during the day, or have a shield that adds +5 defense to enemies that you have faced before, but -5 defense to enemies that you have not faced?
Well, I had the helmet.
Wasn't it great?
It was. I liked it. I didn't get to use it much at all, but I would have really liked to use it. So I would say the helmet. Because Is it similar to what is it the same as what I have where you can see like right up close to you but nothing like out
No,
of 5
no.
feet?
This time
Blind?
Yeah, this time I'm proposing like blind during the day. I think I'd rather have the.
That makes it a little more difficult. But yeah, I'd say the helmet too.
Well, because my whole thing is like, imagine if we had the helmet, and every time Adam had a thing where it was like, you can't read this because none of you know the language, we could all just be like, ha! Well, I have a helmet that lets me know the language, so there.
But it's currently daytime, so I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
try and
I guess.
out?
I guess you wouldn't necessarily have to wear these or use these items, right?
If it's
Right,
not cursed,
I'm not saying
yeah.
that they're cursed or anything. I'm just asking.
Okay.
Definitely the helmet then. Yeah.
Definitely the helmet.
I don't know,
Definitely.
I'd still go with the shield. +5 armor class whenever you want, like, for
I
things
can
you
be a
Only against
I
enemies
can
that
be
you
a
have
nocturnal party.
So, if you were in a campaign where you had to fight a lot of goblins, then sure, it would be great. But imagine if you...
it's +5 for things you have faced before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, like,
If you
imagine
haven't faced
every game you came up against a new monster type, new enemy, you wouldn't have very much of a leg to stand on, would you?
I would maybe not use it like when entering new territories because I'd rather have the not negative than have the
Well,
negative.
yeah, because you can put your shield away.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So
True.
I think I'd still pick the helmet, but if I were to have the shield,
I guess my whole thing is like, yeah, you could put the shield away and use it when you finally came up against an enemy that you've already faced, but my whole thing would be like, but then you would probably hardly ever get to use it, really. Whereas with the helmet, you would be able to use it a lot more often.
Yeah.
Or a
Well,
lot more.
I don't know. I feel like I fight in D&D campaigns. You fight just people a lot, though.
Well, humans. I fought a human before. I get a +5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
at least in that situation.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in my games, I don't think we ever fought the same enemy.
That's fair. So yeah,
Twice.
definitely the helmet for that.
I always try to throw in new enemy types every game, which is a little lazy sometimes, but because a lot of the times I would just pick creatures and it wouldn't make any sense as to why they would be there. Like, places the gear when its habitat is somewhere else, and then I would look at it and be like, oh yeah, you're right. Well, bullshit reason. And be like, okay.
We'll make this sound right. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say helmet for me personally. Ooh, okay. Final would you rather for me. Okay. This is the last one I'm going to propose. Would you rather have a character that was incredibly fast, like had a very, very high dex and athleticism score, but a very low strength score? Or would you rather have a character that had an incredibly high strength stat but an incredibly low speed, dex, and athleticism stat?
I feel like having the higher strength would be better.
It depends on what character you're playing, because I favor rangers, and so I go with dex over strength. Strength has been my dump stat before.
I think my dump stat is usually like intelligence, for some reason.
Adam, though, you've had low dex before.
I have. Several times. I think I favor strength over dex. Because sometimes there's that door you have to force open, and you don't have the strength to do it. You aren't progressing.
It's
I like shooting
definitely
bows.
it's definitely more satisfying for me personally to be able to go up to an enemy and attack them directly. Because in a lot of the campaigns that I've done, it's usually been a dex build, and usually a dex build means that you don't want to be up close and personal with whatever you're fighting, and that can be kind of frustrating for me personally to play. So I do enjoy the ability just to go up to a enemy and just wail on them.
Yeah, I've never been a stealthy player.
It
ever,
really just
I
comes
don't
down
think.
to what class you're playing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
A
And
ranger
also-
would not. Yeah, a ranger would not want low dex. Neither would a rogue.
Mhm.
But then, like, a fighter wouldn't want low strength. So it just
Right.
depends.
I feel like a fighter would probably want low intelligence. more
I mean,
than
you could do a fighter with low strength and a ranger with low dex. It's possible.
Well,
Yeah, but it would suck.
technically, you can play any class however you want. But
Yeah.
you
I'm
know,
I'm
what I
very
Technically,
bad
there
at
are
everything
no-
I do.
Technically, D&D has more guidelines than rules, like Pirate Code.
mean?
It's more
Older
guide-
D&D, didn't it? Like you had to have a certain dex to be able to play a certain class.
Well, I'm sure.
even
you know.
even in 5th edition, that's still true.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Oh,
sure there are
sure.
some DMs out there that are like very hardcore rule players, which is fine. I've never personally been, at least not for D&D anyway. For me personally, I've never really thought much about the rules. I'd rather just let people let their imaginations run wild.
Mm-hmm.
But it just all depends on the DM and the players. Some people are a real big stickler for the rules, and some people are not. And either way is fine, honestly.
Nice save.
Well, I'm not trying to be. I mean, that is what you would say. Like, if somebody is very passionate about the rules of D&D, then you would say that they are a stickler for the rules, meaning that they would not want to expand too far out of the boundaries for what the way you're supposed to play it is. Whereas there are some DMs where they're like, well, just go ahead and do whatever you think is best. And those games can be fun, but they can also be frustrating if you don't have a good
Order.
or imaginative DM to tell you what your actions would do. So, I mean, again, it just depends on who you are and who you play with. There's no right way or wrong way to play D&D, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, there's a wrong way.
I've played the wrong way.
I don't like the wrong way.
Well, we'll call it there for today, guys. If anybody else has any final would you rathers?
Good.
Trey, Don, Adam?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. Well, this has been Creature Clash. My name's Alex.
My name's Vaughn.
My name's Adam.
I'm Trey.
Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.